I must warn you, we're about to dissect the technique behind the lyrics of Ollie Alexander. Gonna break it down to the tiniest, nerdiest detail. And even if you're not a lyrics nerd like myself, you'll still find plenty of useful tips, especially if you're just learning to write song lyrics. Ollie Alexander must be tough. And I am Vadusha, and I'm the greatest expert in song lyrics in the entire world, and maybe even on YouTube. As always, starting with end rhymes. Tough, give it up. Fighting, compromising. Well, this is some lazy rhyming right there. This is not as plain as, say, fish and shish, but it's like, not all that great of a quality of rhyme. Pray, game, denying, and hiding. These here are grammatical rhymes because they use the ending, the inflection to make the thing rhyme. It's not the best and the most creative thing to do. It's like when you're rhyming words ending in T-I-O-N, like prohibition, premonition, and words like that. Metallica likes doing that, and seemingly so does Ollie Alexander. Taking me can be blamed, want me again. So taking, blamed, again. It's not the end rhyme, but it works. Desire, desire. That's a perfect rhyme right there. Feeling for you gets me abused. That's creative, pretty nice. The rush, enough, missing, hidden. This could rhyme like way better. This is a lot of lazy writing right there. You could absolutely edit those to make those rhymes much stronger. Again, the pre-chorus, which I like. Pre-choruses are great when you have them. And then the chorus, which changes rhymes a little bit. For you, abused. For you, to lose. And this structure rhymes with itself better than it does within itself. So these two rhyme less than these two. Then comes the bridge, I guess, which has got me down. Want me now. Not very inventive, but pretty solid. And we'll talk about this little shortening of the line a little bit later on. And then again, repeating this structure from right there. The double chorus with a different line in the end. Right, summing up on the end rhymes. End rhymes could be better. Ollie Alexander doesn't pay too much attention to the end rhymes. It seems like they end on good enough. And that's good enough for sure. But it absolutely could be more creative. Let's see if there's any internal rhyming or other phonetic devices going on. I must be, which is mighty fine right there. I must be and I must be, which is a play on words because be tough and behave are two different things, but it plays on them, making us feel like they're similar in their grammatical structure. They're not. But this thing never repeats anywhere. I must, to the truth that you're denying. That's some alliteration there. To the truth that you're denying. Then give it to the game. Some alliteration there. This one's pretty concentrated in terms of alliterations. Let's see if that's repeated anywhere. Nothing here. Nothing here again. Nothing here. Maybe the bridge. The only thing I can think of is this. Want me, need it now. A little bit of alliteration. Not sure if it's deliberate though. It's not opening up too much here. Let's call it traces of alliteration. So internally, the phonetics is not all that good. There's a little bit right here that has some alliterations in there, no internal rhyming going on wherever, and then it gets lazy and never repeats the tool, so it's not all that phonetically pleasing. Let's dive a level deeper and see if there's any punchlines or metaphors or epithets or any other interesting figurative devices going on. I must keep fighting is a metaphor technically, but it's so overused I wouldn't even count it. Open your arms and pray to the truth that you're denying, which is an image in itself. I wouldn't say that's a strong image though. There's nothing very fancy about it. There's no underlying meaning. There's no double entendre or anything. Get into the game. The only reason for that is just to have the alliteration going on. So overall, this feels like some philosophical nonsense all jammed together to look like song lyrics. That's the approach I dislike the most. It feels like those are just filler lines, just unnecessary things that are there just to be there. They're just like a placeholder. That was a melody, it was a hook, and they needed some words going on here and there, and they came up with the lyrics just to fill it up. It's not that it's wrong or anything, but it diminishes the quality of lyrics. It devalues the lyrics as a thing. And this channel's all about lyrics, so shame on you, Ollie Alexander, for doing that. This one's nice. I want you to want me again. Repeating this, I want you to do something, changing the object. I want who? You. To want whom? Me. Very interesting play on the structure, repetition, changing it up a little bit. Very nice. So this thing might be one of the things the song lyrics evolved around. And then there's a juxtaposition of love and desire in the chorus, which makes them occasional antonyms. Normally, love and desire is a gradation of things. Desire is like stronger than love, but here they're juxtaposed because love is one thing and desire is a completely different thing. I guess what they mean here is that love is the platonic love and desire is completely sexual. And there's this question saying that the platonic side of things only gets the person abused, while desire is what they want. Right, so the chorus on the level of imagery and other tools is very nicely built. That might be another thing the song revolves around. Keep your other lovers hidden. That's a metaphor. I haven't heard much of that, so I guess that's a fresh one. There's no lovers actually hidden, I hope. They're just unmentioned or not as valuable as the character of the song is. So they could be called hidden. Locked me down, I guess that's I hope that's a metaphor. Or this may not be. Or this can be both a metaphor and the literal sense of the line. Who knows? Love has all the ways. Summing it up, metaphorically and punchline wise, there's not really much going on. In the verses, there's literally nothing. There's a little bit in the pre-chorus right there when I want you to want me again, but it's more of a syntactical tool than an imagery device. Then the chorus is packed with the image and there's some juxtaposition going on and there's a lot of extra meaning poured into love and desire. There's a little bit of a play on words right there in the Lock Me Down. Other than that, nothing much more going on. Let's go a level deeper and see what's there about the dynamics of the song, what the storytelling is trying to show us. The character is fighting for something. That's an opening where we don't really understand what's going on. We don't even know if it's love or if it's a life struggle or anything. There's a little bit of dynamics going on here, some change. This one's all about I, and this one is all about you. So this one's telling about the character, and this is the character addressing to somebody. And it's not yet clear if it's love related or not. Right there, we understand what's going on. These two are just filler lines, but this one's a punchline right there. And it is in the strong position, right before the chorus, in the very, very last line. The punchline is not at the very ending of the line. There's the again that makes it a little bit diluted. It's like when you're telling a joke, the closer to the end the punchline is, the better the joke. You don't want to give up the punchline in the beginning. You want the very last word to uncover the meaning of the joke. The same is true for song lyrics. So if this were here, that would be better. But this again kind of tells us a bit of a story. So this one line is so densely packed that it's telling a story. It's not that the character is trying to get somebody's attention, but there's a relationship history behind that. All that we realize from the very last line here. A very good position to have a punchline. And this one opens up the quality of the relations. This one goes from somewhat uncertain to something more certain, but there's a lot of doubt in there. This one has no doubt. This one starts to be doubting. Right here, the doubt goes away because they tell them they want them. And all in all, we see how the circle closes up, how the loop repeats itself. We're not certain right there. We're determined to fight. Then we know the desire. And then the desire gets fulfilled right there in the bridge before the last chorus. That's a very good storytelling line. Let's take a look at the choruses because there's some development in there as well. You see, that's the first chorus. Then the second chorus adds an extra line in the second repetition. I want to see what you're willing to lose. Changes up the main theme a bit, adding to this development. So all in all, the character goes from being determined to uncertain to having their wishes fulfilled, which is a normal pathway for a character. You can see that in any Hollywood movie. That's some very, very classic storytelling right there. All right, as usual, 3 things I would fix, I would change in those lyrics. 1, one is the nature of the verses. These have nothing in them. I would add some punchlines, or at least something to make them more meaningful, because they don't match the quality of pre-choruses and choruses in the bridge. Second thing I would fix, I'd add some phonetics, both fixing the end rhyming and the internal phonetics, like taking this alliteration trend right here and replicating it in the second verse or something. And the third thing I'd fix is I'd work on the chorus, because this one's very, very prominent in the song. And this I'm feeling for you only gets me abused. These two don't rhyme, but it's a very, very strong repetition. I'd search for a word that rhymes feeling, or I'd search for a word that rhymes with gets. So this is a very, very specific place in the chorus where there's a lot of stress on it in the singing. This one wants to be more phonetically similar. All right, 3 things I'd learn from there. I'd take and put in my own toolbox. Number 1 is the structure. It's very, very, very straightforward, but very, very well working. There goes the verse, then the pre-chorus, and then the chorus. And there's even a post-chorus with those OOOs going on. And it repeats, then the bridge, and then the chorus again. So verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus. Very classic structure, works every single time. Thing number 2 is having a punchline in a very, very strong position. This line is very tightly packed with meaning, and it's placed right where it belongs, right before the chorus, in the pre-chorus where the tension has maxed up and you're just waiting for the relief. Thing number 3 I haven't yet covered, but you can take a look at this. It establishes a pattern of first half of verse, then second half of verse, a bit different from the first half, while the second verse, while repeating the structure, gets a bit different because it doesn't have the second half of it. This freshens up our ears and gives an eye-opening moment because we go into the pre-chorus a bit too soon, and that's exactly how you manipulate the listener's attention. Another example of that is when there's a bridge which repeats entirely except for these 3 words. They cut it there, making it happen a little bit too soon again, given this eye-opening moment right there, drawing attention right before the final chorus hits. That's a very good tool when you establish a pattern and then break it to make sure the attention is grabbed. And I must thank you for your attention, because you've watched the video till the very end and not skipping any bit of it. It lets YouTube know the video is interesting, and especially if you subscribe during watching, YouTube understands the video is interesting and starts promoting it across the platform. And most importantly, it makes me happy. And while you're subscribing, please like the video if you have a heart. And I hope you learned something new from the lyrics breakdown and can use that in your own creative endeavors, because you're awesome. Yes, you are.